Okay, so this is lesson 9. They did put out a review for your midterm already, and so I'm going to make sure that everything that's on that midterm review that we've gone through, and so you'll be super prepared. So just know, like I said, this is not going to be perfect, but I think you're going to be very prepared, okay? Look at question number 1 right here, you guys. There's no equal sign in it. So the directions on that would never read solve. It would always just be to simplify, okay? So look at the first set of parentheses. Everybody tell me if you guys know, are those set of parentheses even necessary? They're not even necessary. So let's just make this easier, and let's write down negative 4m to the second minus 6m. So just drop the parentheses, okay? Everybody look at the second set of parentheses. Everybody tell me, okay, are they necessary? They're not necessary. Everybody say no. Okay, so I'm just going to go plus 6m plus 4m squared. So look what happens. Positive 4m squared and a negative 4m squared go away. Negative 6m and a positive 6m go away. Everything went away. So some people will say things like no solution, but we're not solving. So no solution doesn't make sense. What's the answer? It is 0. Yeah, it's 0. Highlight your answer and you're done. Okay. Question 2. Somebody tell me the word that describes what we have to do right there. It is distribute. Good. So 3 times 2 is 6, a to the third. 3 times 5 is 15, c to the second. Someone describe the word that tells me what we have to do right here. Go ahead. What is that? What are we doing? Distributing again. Good. A negative 2 times 4 is a negative 8, a to the third. A negative 2 times a negative 6 is a positive 12, c squared. Okay? So 6a to the third minus 8a to the third, those are like terms. You guys, bless you, it's going to stay in a to the third, and 6 minus 8 is a negative 2. And then here's a c squared, and here's a c squared. When I add them, I get a c squared. It's not a c to the fourth. It stays c squared. And 15 plus 2 is 27, c squared. Highlight your answer and you're done. What if you answered like this? 27c squared minus 2a to the third. Right or wrong? Talk to me. It's right. It's right. Good. Okay, so look at this one, guys, on question number 3. This guy has an xy. This guy has an xy. This guy has an x squared y. That x squared y cannot be added to anything. It's just on its own. But the xy's can be added together. So when we add them together, we're going to have an xy. 15 minus 7 is an 8. Then write down that middle term, 8x squared y, and you're done. There's nothing I can do to those because the second term has 2 x's and the first term only has 1. Okay, they're not like terms, so that's it. Who says I'm totally good with this? Raise your hand. Okay, this is kind of how this is going to go, I think, today. You're going to be fine. Okay, question 4, we're distributing again. So guys, look, 2x times x squared. That's going to be 2x, and then how many x's do I have altogether, guys? If I have 1 there and 2 there, how many do I have? 3. You add the exponents. Good. Now I go 2x times negative x. So that's a positive times a negative is a negative. And then 2 times 1 is a 2. And then x times x is x to the, talk to me everybody, to the second. You add them. Good. And then 2 times a positive 3 is a positive 6. You've got an x. I cannot add any of those together. That's my answer and I'm good. Okay, question 5. Same thing. So guys, look, let's go nice and slowly. Okay, look. This times this, I'm distributing. So this is like a 1 right there. So I go 2 times 1 is 2. There are a's in this guy, but no a's here, so it's just going to be an a to the first. Then I've got 3 b's and 1 b, so what's this right here? Tell me. It is 4. You add those together. So let's do this one. 2 times negative 3 is a negative 6. On the a's, every person in this room, there are 25 of you or more in here, so I should be able to hear your voices very clearly. I want you to tell me the exponent on that a. It is 6. Thank you. Now let's talk about the b's. It's 6 because 5 plus 1 is 6. Look at the b's. Everybody tell me the exponent on the b's. 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. Highlight your answer. Beautiful. Okay, question 6. People get confused right here. This is a problem. This is a problem that causes a problem. Okay, so look. First thing I'm going to do is this. So I'm going to take the 2y to the third and distribute the y and then distribute it to the 7. So 2y to the third times y is 2y to the, everybody talk to me, 2y to the fourth, good. And then 2y to the third times 7. Guys, notice how I keep doing the number first, then I forget about the number, then I do the x's, then I do the y. So just be very meticulous with it, okay? So 7 times 2 is 14, and on the y's you have 3, okay? Here's where the problem comes, right here, okay? So everybody look at this. Here is the problem. This is one term. This is one term. This is like this, guys. -5 times 4. One term times one term. You would never write that as -20 plus 4 or something like that. If it's one term, when you multiply, you're going to have one term. Okay? So you just say, well, a negative times a positive is a negative. And then the y's, can you tell me how many y's we have altogether? Well, you've got 2. And then you've got 0, right? And you're supposed to add those. So tell me what I have. I have 2, okay? Easy. Literally, that's your answer, okay? Now, there's another way to think about this. Everybody look right here and listen, okay? Here's your answer and you're done. Here's another way to think about this. Right here, just watch me do this, okay? Everybody watch. -y to the second times y to the 0. I'm taking one term and multiplying it by one term. Everybody in the room, tell me what y to the 0 is. That's a 1. So this is -y squared multiplied by 1, which is -y squared. So you get the same thing either way. I think it's easier to just add those exponents together. Okay? Okay, let's do question number 7. Distributing again, nice and slowly. So this times this. You guys do the numbers and then do the c's and then do the d's. So look, 3 times 1 is 3. On the c's, you have 5 and 1 for a total of, tell me everybody, how many? 6 is correct. And the only d's are over here, and there are 3. So it looks like that. Now do this one. A positive times a negative is a negative, so I do the sign. Then I do the number. 3 times 4 is 12. The only c's is right there. There's just 1. And my d's is going to be, can you tell me everybody what that would be? It is 6. 3 plus 3 is a 6. There's your answer. Cannot add these together. Who says this is so easy? Raise your hand. See? Now you're not crying like last night. Okay, question 8. Look right here. Here is one thing that is multiplied by this thing right here. So I have this times this. Okay, don't go ahead of me. Okay, everybody stop writing for a sec, please. So this is a binomial, 2 terms, times this, 2 terms. So this is what I think your teacher taught you to do. I want to try to do the same way your teacher have taught you in the past. So your teacher said, take this x right here and distribute it to the x minus 6. Then take the plus 4 and distribute that to an x minus 6. Who says, yep, that's how my teacher taught me to do that? Raise your hand. Do a big raise up. Have any of you guys done this by the method of FOIL? Raise your hand. Okay, so the problem is I've got 2 people doing it both ways. So show me again who used FOIL. Do a big raise up. Okay, I'm foiling. I'm foiling because I think it's easier. Okay, so foiling is the same result as the other method. Okay, so FOIL means first. So it's this times this. So you go x times x is x squared. Outside means this, guys. X times -6. The 2 things on the very outside. That's a -6x. Inside means this. The 2 things on the inside. So 4 times x is 4x. And then last is here. It's 4 times -6, which gives you a -24. If you did the other method, you're going to get the same answer. So when I add them, you guys, a negative 6x and a positive 4x is a negative 2. Guys, is that a negative 2x squared right there? When do I change that to a squared? When you're multiplying, and we're not multiplying, we're adding, so you don't change it. You're exactly right. Minus 24, highlight your answer, done. Who says easy cheesy? Let me see, raise your hand. Okay, great. Question number 9. Okay, look at it. Don't go ahead of me, okay? There is zero benefit, literally zero benefit to going ahead of me, okay? I'm going to say lots of little things as I'm teaching you, and if you're busy thinking about the problem and not listening, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff. Everybody look at question 9 and tell me, what do you notice? What do you notice? It's different than 8. Looks easier than 8, I think. Anybody notice anything? Guys, I need you to engage, okay? I know you're tired. Say it again, honey. What do you mean? Yeah, let's go ahead and FOIL this. You're exactly right, honey. Let's FOIL this, guys. Look, y times y is y squared. Outside is y times negative 5. That's a negative 5y. Inside is 5 times y. That's a plus 5y. And then last is a positive 5 times a negative 5, which is a negative 25. So look what happens. When you go to add these two middle terms, the negative 5y and the positive 5y go away. So your answer is y squared minus 25. That's your answer, and you're done. I want everyone to listen. Okay, listen carefully on this. If you recognize something, it's going to make the problem easier and faster. Okay, look right here. Y plus 5 times y minus 5 are called what? Do you remember what that word is? They are called, starts with the letter C. C-O. Anybody? They're called conjugates. They're exactly the same, but the middle sign is different. If you notice that those are conjugates, look how easy this problem is. You just go y times y, y squared, and then you go 5 times negative 5, that's a negative 25, done. You don't even have to do all that middle stuff, because you're like, they're conjugates, so I know the middle stuff is going to go away, so I'm just going to do the first, and I'm just going to do the last. Who says I'm with you? Raise your hand. Okay, great. Here's question number 10. Let's just FOIL it, okay? So you're going to go, it's doing the thing again. I don't know why this happens. It makes me sad. Oh, maybe it'll work. Okay, I think I can teach with, let's see. I'm going to try to teach writing with my finger right here. Okay, so 2c, no. So 2c times 1c is 2c squared. And then outside is 2c times negative 5, which is negative 5c. And then yes, it is. Thank you for correcting me. That's a negative 10. So this is a minus 10c. Good. And then inside is 1 times c, which is a plus c. And then last is a positive 1 times a negative 5, which gives me a negative 5, like that. Then I'm going to add those two things together, and my answer is 2c to the second minus 9c minus 5. That's my answer. Highlight, and I'm done. Okay? Just so you guys understand what's happening, my pen keeps malfunctioning. I don't know if I need a new battery, so I'm trying to write with my fingers so I don't lose this recording. So my writing may not be as clear right now, and that is because this thing is messed up. Okay, here we go. X minus 3 squared. Okay, everybody listen. Step 1 is super important. If you do step 1 wrong, you're going to miss the entire thing. Tell me what step 1 is. What do you have to do on this? Write it twice, yeah. So everybody go x minus 3 times x minus 3. And now you just FOIL it, guys. So you just go x times x is x squared. Outside is x times negative 3. So that would be a negative 3x. Inside is negative 3 times x, which is a negative 3x. And then last is a negative 3 times a negative 3, which gives you a positive 9. These are not conjugates. I couldn't just do the first and the last because it would have to be x minus 3, x plus 3 for that to happen. Now I'm going to add those together, and I get x a second minus 6x plus 9. Highlight my answer, and I'm done. And that's the work you have to show. The whole underlining thing, you don't have to do that, but that's, you know, basically what you need to do. Who says gotcha? Let me see. Okay, great. Okay, so that was number 11. Here's number 12. Everybody in the room now, okay, because you should be able to know by now. Tell me what we do first. Everybody tell me. Lips are moving. Tell me. Write it twice, right? So everybody write down 9y plus 1 times 9y plus 1. Now you multiply. So you go 9y times 9y is 81. Talk to me, everybody. Y squared. Thank you. And then outside is 9y times 1, and that gives me 9y. Inside is 1 times 9y. That gives me another 9y. And then last is 1 times 1, which gives me a 1. Most of the time, those two middle terms will add. So my answer is 81y to the second. 9 plus 9 is 18. Is that a y squared or is that a y? Talk to me. Just a y. Plus 1. Highlight your answer. Done. Okay? All right. That was 12. Here is 13. Now, everybody listen. You tell me, what's going to be easier? To multiply x plus 5 times x minus 5 first, or to distribute the 4c first? Which one's going to be easier? To multiply. Yeah. So leave the 4c alone. Everybody stop. Now, everybody in the room, you better be talking to me. Okay? You're too quiet. I don't like quiet. I want everybody engaged. Look right here. C plus 5 times c minus 5. What's the word that describes those two things? Conjugate. So what's going to happen? The middle things are going to get rid of, right? They're going to go away. So look what I do. All I do is go c times c, c squared, and then I do the last, 5 times negative 5, that's a negative 25. That was so easy. Am I done with the question? What do I do now? One word. Distribute. Good. 4c times c squared. That's 4c, talk to me, to the third. Then 4c times a negative 25. Positive times a negative is a negative. Do the sign. 4 times 25 is 100. Then you have a c. Highlight it. Done. It's a breeze. Am I making up for yesterday's assignment? Does this make it a little better, what you had to go through? Okay. Okay, question 14. Everybody in the room talk to me. Can I FOIL to do this problem? Can I FOIL? You cannot FOIL. Don't go ahead of me, okay? You cannot FOIL. Someone clearly raise your hand and tell me why we can't FOIL. Why can't you? Go ahead, honey. Thank you. There's 3 things. Yeah, look. 1, 2, 3. Can't have 3. You can have 2, but you can't have 3. Okay, we're going to write something down, and we're only going to write it down just this time. You don't have to write it down when you do it on your homework, okay? Okay, so everybody write down y to the second, and then do a parenthesis. You're going to take this y squared and distribute it here, y minus 5. Then you're going to take the next term, plus 5y, and you're going to do the same thing. Distribute it to y minus 5. Then you're going to take the last term, which is 25, do the same thing, distribute it to y minus 5. So now I have to distribute, distribute, distribute. Who says gotcha? Let me see up high how we're doing. Okay, good. Y to the second times y to the first is y to the third. Y to the second times a negative 5 is a negative 5y squared. 5y times y is 5y squared. 5y times a negative 25 is a negative 25y. 25 times y is 25y. 25 times a negative 5 is a negative 125. Now let's simplify this. Look what happens. Negative 5y squared, positive 5y squared go away. Everybody stop right here for 2 seconds and look at something. Look what people do. They go like this. Minus 5y squared minus 5y squared. So that gives me a y to the third minus 10y squared on that. Okay? What are they thinking? What is that person thinking? It's wrong. They're thinking, they're solving. They're thinking there's an equal sign in between there. There is no equal sign. You don't have to move anything anywhere. You just combine those things. And then you say, well, a negative 5y squared and a positive 5y squared, those are going to go away. A negative 25y and a positive 25y, those are going to go away. So my answer is y to the third minus 125, and I'm done. Who says I feel good? Raise your hand, let me see. Okay, yay. Here's 15. Step 1. Tell me what to do. 25 people in this room. Thank you. Thank you. You're exactly right. 2x to the second times x plus 3 times x plus 3. Everybody stop. What's the next step? To distribute the 2x squared or to multiply x plus 3 times x plus 3. So distribute or multiply, everybody talk. Which one? Multiply. Are x plus 3 and x plus 3 conjugates? They are not. So we're going to go 2x squared. Now, everybody stop for a second. I'm going to take a shortcut. If I confuse you during the shortcut, then don't do it. But if you can do the shortcut, it's going to be way easier for you. Okay, look. X times x is x squared. When I do outside x times 3, I get 3x. I'm holding that in the back of my head. When I do inside 3 times x, I get 3x. So now I have 3x and 3x, which gives me what, everybody? 6x. And then 3 times 3 is 9. If you can do that in your head, go for it. Just don't miss it. Now distribute the 2x to the second, and you get 2x to the fourth. 6 times 2 is 12x to the, talk to me guys on this, third. 9 times 2 is 18x to the second. There's your answer, and you're done. Okay? Okay, that was 15. Here is, do we have a 16? Yes, we do. Okay, here's 16. Everybody in the room, 25 people, tell me what to do. Write it 3 times, right? So everybody go x minus 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 2. Look what you're going to do. See this x minus 2? Leave it be and write it down. Take these two x minus 2's and multiply them together. So x times x is x squared. Outside gives me a negative 2x. Inside gives me a negative 2x. A negative 2x and a negative 2x gives me a negative 4x. Then a negative 2 times a negative 2 is a positive 4. Can I FOIL now? Tell me that. No. So I'm not going to make you show the next line. So look what we're going to do here. We're going to go x times x to the second is x to the third. Now multiply the x by the negative 4x. So x times negative 4x is negative 4x squared. And then x times 4 is 4x. So I'm just distributing without writing down that line of showing distributing. Now do the negative 2. So negative 2 times x to the second is negative 2x to the second. And negative 2 times a negative 4x is a positive 8x. And negative 2 times a positive 4 is a negative 8. Raise your hand if you are perfectly with me. You are understanding what I'm saying to you. Great. Okay, so now we have x to the third minus 4x squared minus 2x squared is a negative 6x to the, do I change it or do I keep it? I keep it. Tell me when I change it. When you're multiplying. You guys are wonderful. 4x and 8x gives me 12x. You have a minus 8 at the end. Highlight your answer and you're done. You guys, look at my work. How nice and tidy and clear it is to follow. That's the expectation. That's what you need to do, okay? All right. See this right here? This negative 2x is less than 8. I want you to off to the side write down negative 2x equals 8. Write that down for me. The less than works almost exactly like an equal sign. Just think of it as an equal sign. There's one difference. You guys tell me. To solve this equation right here, I have to divide by a negative 2. So everybody go negative 2, negative 2. Those cancel. And you get x is, tell me what to write right here. What symbol do I write? If this is a less than, do I write that as a less than? Talk to me. No. I write it as a what? Tell me, guys. A greater than. And a positive 8 over negative 2 is a negative 4. Why did we switch the direction of the inequality? Somebody tell us. Go ahead. Divided by a negative. So listen, this guy right here is exactly the same as this guy here, except if you divide by a negative, you flip it. Okay, that's it. Okay, here's question right here, just a little example. Let's graph this. Okay, everybody go like this. Draw a number line. Right in the center, put a negative 2. Up above, it tells you, right here, if it's a less than equal to or greater than equal to, your circle is closed. If you have a greater than or a less than, your circle will be opened. So look at ours. We have an equal sign. An equal sign means your circle is closed. So everybody make a very clearly closed circle. Where are the numbers bigger than negative 2? Everybody in the room tell me, is that to the right of the negative 2 or to the left? Talk to me. To the right. So grab your highlighter, highlight the right, and there's your answer. You guys listen, I'm going to show you a trick. If you put your X on the left, you should always put your X on the left. Never put your X on the right. Then see that symbol right there? It's an arrow. What way does the arrow point? To the right. That's the way you're going to shade. Always put the X on the left and just shade the way that the arrow is pointing. Okay, here we go. Question A. Solve it and graph it. Write your answer in interval notation. Bless you. Think of it as an equals. Okay, off to the side, everybody write this down. 3x minus 4 equals 2. That's what your brain needs to see. Everybody in the room, tell me what to do first. Talk to me. Move your 4, right? So you have 3x is less than or equal to 4 plus 2 is 6, right? What do I do now? Divide by 3, so I get x is. Should I switch the direction of the inequality? No, because I didn't divide by a negative, right? 6 divided by 2 is, or 6 divided by 3 is 2, okay? Go to your number line, put a 2 in the center. Everybody in the room talk to me. Is my circle open or is it closed? It's closed. And which way does the arrow point on that inequality, right or left? Left, so that's it. Now, they asked us to write it in interval form. Interval is the parenthesis bracket business. Everybody listen. How far to the left does that shading go? Tell me. Forever, in the negative direction. So it's not infinity, it's negative infinity. Guys, please don't make your infinity look like that. What's that? That's an 8. Infinity is not 8. So that infinity needs to be sideways, okay? Then put a comma, and it goes to a 2. Can you tell me how to close my 2? It is with a bracket. Why is it a bracket? Because it's a solid circle. So right up here, if it's a solid circle, okay, then I want you to put bracket, and if it's not, then I want you to do parenthesis, okay? So we've got an equal sign, therefore it touches the 2, there's my answer, and I'm done. Okay, let's do the next one. Question B. Everybody in the room talk to me. What do we need to do? Divide by negative 2. So then I get x is, talk to me. This guy's a greater than. Okay, do this. Everybody write this down. Put that symbol right there. And then I want you to write the word greater than. That's how you say that. If it points this way, that means less than. We have to be able to communicate. Okay, so this is a greater than right here. So what do I put right here? Talk to me. Less than. Why'd we switch it? Divided by a negative. 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. Okay, draw your number line. Put a negative 4 in the center. You tell me, opened or closed circle? Opened. Which way do I shade? To the right or to the left? To the left. We have to write it in interval form. Interval form means negative infinity because it goes on forever that way. To a positive 4, tell me how to close my 4. With a parenthesis because there is no equal sign, negative 4. Yeah, it's okay. As soon as you said that, you know what I thought? Oh man, what'd I do wrong? So I didn't think you were confused. I thought I was confused. So that's a compliment. Okay, here's question C. Step 1, everybody in the room, tell me what it is. Add 3, right? So you have 5x is greater than or equal to 4. What do I do now? Divide by 5. So we have x is greater than or equal to 4/5. I didn't switch it because I didn't divide by a negative. Do you know where, bless you, you know, you don't really have to know because the only thing we're going to put on our graph is 4/5. But what's 4/5 as a decimal? Does anybody know? It's 0.8. So it would be smaller than a 1, right? In between the 0 and 1, closer to the 1. Close or open circle, everybody in the room. Close, right or left? Right. Interval form. You start from the left and you travel to the right. What's the first place that's a solution? 4/5. Everybody tell me how to close my 4/5. With a bracket. How far to the right does the shading go? Infinity, parenthesis, close it, highlight it, done. It's easy. Okay, question D. Step 1, starting to look a little weird. Step 1, just shout it out. What is it? Move your 5. You actually don't add 5, right? What do you do, everybody? Right here. Everybody stop right here. This guy has a what in front of it? A plus. So when you pull it over, it's a negative. So you have negative 7x is greater than a negative 9 and a negative 7 is a negative 14. Tell me what to do now. Divide by negative 7 and you get x is, this is a, what's the name of this symbol? You better know this. What's this symbol? Greater than, so what do I write here? Less than, and what do I have? Negative 14 divided by negative 7 is a 2, right? Number line, here's your 2. Open or closed? Open. Right or left? Left. Interval form starts with a negative, tell me, infinity, and it goes to a 2, close with a parenthesis. There's your answer. Easy. Okay, this one, E. Looks more complicated. Don't freak out. Think of that inequality as an equal sign. Left-hand side, one word. You tell me, what do we do? Distribute. So that's a negative 2x plus 10 is less than or equal to, in your brain you see an equal sign. What am I going to do on the right, everybody? Distribute. Yes, that gives me 5x minus 15 minus 2. Everybody stop. Should I start moving x's and numbers around right now? Tell me. No way. No. So simplify the left or the right. Everybody go negative 2x plus 10 is less than or equal to 5x minus 17. Now, look right here. Okay? Look right here. Right or wrong? Take this 2x, bring it over, it becomes a positive 2x. Right or wrong? Never. No. Do not take the x's to the right. Look here. Right or wrong? Take the 17, pull it over, it's a positive. Right or wrong? No. Get your x's together first and pull them to the left. So this 5x comes over and becomes a negative. So now I have negative 7x plus 10 is less than or equal to negative 17. All I did is move my 5x over, it became a negative. Tell me very specifically what to do right now. Move my what? Move the 10 over, right? So you have negative 7x is less than or equal to negative 27. Tell me what to do now. divide by negative 7. So I have x is, talk to me, greater than or equal to 27 over 7. Just leave it, 27 over 7. If it reduces, you must reduce it, but just leave it improper. It's easier. Make your number line, 27 over 7. Everybody in the room, open or closed? Closed. Right or left? Right. That's the way it points, right? Interval form, the furthest thing on the left is 27 over 7, and it's a bracket. And the shading goes forever. That would be infinity. There's your answer. Done. Everybody grab your calculator for a second and punch in 27 divided by 7. And when you do, you get 3.8. Now, in my class, that number line is acceptable. But what if Weber State had something like this? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where would I put that 27 over 7? I would put it right here because it's 3.8 about, right? So I'd put a little mark right there, label it 27 over 7, closed and shaded to the right. So you just need to know how to be able to evaluate that if necessary. Okay, here's question F. Starting to look weird. Tell me what to do. Add the 8. So now you have negative x is less than 8. What do I do now? Divide by a negative. And I get x is, talk to me, greater than negative 8. Yeah, so it really wasn't that bad. Number line, negative 8. Everybody in the room, open or closed? Open. Everybody in the room, right or left? Right. Everyone should be answering, okay? When I say everybody in the room, everybody's lips are moving with me, okay? Okay. Furthest left, negative 8. How far to the right? Infinity. There's my answer. Got it. Okay. Question G. This is called a complex inequality. Okay? The goal is to get this right here to be just an x. So what else is there? A 2. Everybody in the room, tell me, how do I get rid of that 2? Divide by 2. So let's do this. Divide 2, divide 2, divide 2. So now I have negative 1. Do I have to reverse the inequalities? Yes or no? When would I reverse those? If I was dividing by a negative 2, which I did not do, so you do not reverse them, and it looks like this. Okay, let's graph it. Negative 1 over here, positive 2 over here, open circles because I don't have an equal sign. Can anybody in the room tell me where we shade? It is in the middle. Yeah, it means greater than a negative 1 and less than 2. So if it's written like that, that complex way, and the arrows are pointing to the left, it means in between. Interval form is negative 1 to a positive 2, both closed with a, talk to me everybody, parenthesis. Good. Okay, here's H. I need an X in the center. Everybody in the room, what do I do first? Should I divide by 2? No, that's bad. What do I do? Add 1. So now I'm going to have 5 is less than or equal to 2x is less than or equal to 1. What do I do? Okay, everybody look right here. It's so important to me that you understand. If you don't understand, I have failed. And the last thing I ever want to do is fail as being your teacher. So when I ask you questions, I need you to have the courtesy to answer me. Because if you don't answer me, then I think what? What do I think? That you don't understand. And my job is to make sure you understand. Okay? So I'm going to do it again. Everybody look. Stick with me. What do I do next? Everybody talk to me. Divide by 2. Okay? So we have 5 over 2 is less than or equal to x. is less than or equal to, everybody in the room, I'm talking to 25 people, what's over here? 1 over 2, right? Number line, over here, 5 over 2. Oh, this is a lie. This is a lie. 5 halves, look right here, the problem. The little guy's supposed to be on the left. Is 5 over 2 small? No. So we're going to change it. Just make that a negative. So then when you bring your 1 over, just erase this guy, and that would be a -4 and a +1 is a -3. And then divide, and you would get a -3 over 2. Now it's set up correctly. So there's a typo on the problem. Then the smallest number should always be on the left, and -4 is smaller than 0. So I had to change that sign. Okay, open or close, 25 people, open or closed? Closed. Tell me where to shade 25 people. Where do I shade? Inside. Looks like this. Interval form is the parenthesis bracket stuff. So it's going to go from a -3 halves to a +1 half. 25 people, how do I close these? Brackets. Why brackets? Because you have an equal sign, right? Because you have closed circles. Good. Question I. Starting to get ugly. Every person, step 1, tell me. Add 2. So you have -18 is less than or equal to -4x is less than or equal to 17. Tell me now. Divide by -4. This is weird. So you have, let's do this just because there's so many things to remember right now. Just put a -4 right there. Okay? You don't have to, but I think it's probably wise. A negative over negative is a positive. 18 over 4 reduces to 9 over 2. What do I put next? Greater than or equal to. And then you've got your x, and you've got a greater than or equal to -17/4. I want you to draw an arrow to that, and I want you to say awkward. The arrows are not supposed to point to the right. The arrows are supposed to point to the left. The big guy is supposed to be on the right, and right now the big guy's on the left. Can you tell me what I do? Just switch everything. That's all you have to do. Look, the -17/4 goes over here. The 9 half goes over there. The x still goes in the center. And now the arrows point that direction. So switch it. Now all of our little tricks still work. Number line, -17 over 4, +9 over 2. Close circles because we've got equal signs. Tell me where to shade everybody. Inside. Yep. So your answer in interval form is -17 over 4 with a bracket, comma 9 over 2 with a bracket. There's my answer. Oops, meant to highlight. There's my answer. Done. Okay? All right. Kind of long. 18 and 19 and we're done. Explain the difference of the solutions between this and the solution of this. Okay? You guys, Weber State likes to ask you questions like this. Here's one, write in words what the explanation is. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go -3 times 2x minus 1 equals 5x plus 4. Then we're going to do a line, and we're going to go -3 times 2x minus 1 is less than 5x plus 4. We're going to solve them side by side, and then we're going to explain the difference. And they'll eat this up. They'll love it. Distribute the -3, and you get -6x plus 3 equals 5x plus 4. Tell me what to move right now. What is the wisest thing to move? Tell me. 5x over to the other side, right? So now you have a -11x plus 3 equals 4. Move your 3. -11x equals 1. Divide by -11, x equals -1 over 11. Let's do this guy. Distribute. -6x plus 3 is less than 5x plus 4. You guys, you still take the same next step. It's just like an equal sign. 5x comes over, negative 11x plus 3 is less than 4. Move your 3. Negative 11x is less than 1. Divide by negative 11, x is, talk to me, greater than negative 111. So that's the only difference, is at the very end you switch it, okay? So we're going to call this 1, and we're going to call this 2, okay? So we're going to say when solving 1, comma, the solution is only negative 1 over 11. Maybe better would be after solving, but it's fine. We're going to say when solving number 2, the solutions are anything, finish. Yeah, greater than negative 1 over 11. That's it. So the one on the left is just that guy. The one on the right is anything bigger than that guy. Is negative 1 over 11 a solution to that inequality? Is negative 1 over 11 a solution to number 2? Tell me. No, because negative 1 over 11 is not bigger than negative 1 over 11. Okay, here we go. Question 19, and then we're done. Is this a solution? And explain your answer. Okay, look what we're going to do. We're going to put a negative 2 in for x and a 4 in for y, and we're going to put it right there into equation 1. So you have x, which is negative 2, minus 2 times y, which is 4, is greater than 4. Everybody in the room, grab your calculator. Leave the 4 on the right alone. See what you have on the left. So go negative 2 minus 2 parenthesis 4, close it, enter, and you get a negative 10. Is a negative 10 bigger than 4, yes or no? No. So this is false. Okay. So we're going to say no, comma, negative 2 comma 4 is not a solution. Why not? I'm going to say when I plug x equals negative 2 and y equals 4 into the first inequality, comma, I get a false statement. Done. I have a question for you. If this was true, just look for a second. If this was 10, and this ended up being something that's true, can I at that moment conclude that the answer is yes? No, you cannot conclude that. What do you have to do? You have to do the other guy. So it has to work for both equations, both inequalities for it to be true. Okay? Okay, that's it. We're done. Who says I get all that? Okay, now